Okay, it's July 10th and 7:33, and we're getting ready to start our APDC meeting. We will be starting here with our normal nomenclature for recording the meeting in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law. Be advised that the meeting is being recorded and will be broadcast over the Lunenburg YouTube channel. The recording of the meeting will be available on YouTube within 24 hours. There is a link attached to the agenda which is on the town's website if you want to join us. Additionally, please be advised that the town of Lunenburg utilizes the Zoom platform as a host for its hybrid and remote meetings. The Zoom platform utilizes AI technology and its AI companion to create audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes, and that AI companion is activated immediately upon launching the Zoom application. You're hereby notified that that AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of meeting and or following the conclusion of the meeting. Participants will be as Zoom may use the raise the hand feature to request to speak. Public participation is encouraged. Public comments may be permitted on regular agenda topics in addition to public comment periods. At the discretion of the chair, the agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting, and those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken because of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. So, there is no members of the public with us this evening. Nathan, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. And we have our 12 June meeting minutes to approve. I have a couple questions. I looked at the meeting minutes, and the one thing that I noticed was under the Jones House, it says house siding replacement plan to replace with like cider. I don't think. Cedar. But I thought we were talking about them using hardy plank or hardy board. Can anybody remember that? Was it cedar that she was planning on using?
I think maybe it was siding.
Siding with cedar.
Yeah, what does it say now? It says.
It says cider. I know that's not.
I can go back and watch the report.
Okay, so that was my one note. The other one is on under current business two, item 4.4, it says motion to approve by member McGrath. You have his name misspelled. And then the last item that I had on the minutes was there in your report, Richard, you said, was it the Boston Historical Commission? This is under the Boston Post Kane to the oldest member of the town. So there's the item. Is that correct? Was it the Boston Historical Commission that started that?
No. Lunenburg Historical Commission. The Lunenburg Historical Commission is reinstituting the Boston Post Kane program, which is given to the oldest member of town. And then when that person passes on, it's passed on to the next person. We are purchasing a replica cane because the original cane is valuable, so it's kept in a case. We're purchasing a replica cane, historical commission, so that that can actually be given. Right now, they just get a pen, and we can think that's kind of cheesy, so we want them to actually have a cane. So
Gotcha. So just the Lunenburg.
Yes, so send that back up to him, and those are the only meeting minute changes that I had noted. Good?
Motion to accept.
Yeah, that's that, then. There's just three small corrections, Richard McGrath has moved, is there a second?
Second,
Wait a second, all those in favor of approving the meeting minutes with those three noted changes, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? No, so we're moving on. Wasn't a correspondence, so they had three items that I wanted to chat with you all about tonight. And they had been old business, but I kind of moved it back up to current business. The Historical Commission APDC merger. Nothing is happening. And, I'd met with town council, I did a follow-up email with town council, I did a follow-up email with town council. And the town manager, I followed up again yesterday because I had not heard from either town council or from the town manager. And, my most recent note to the town manager was that, we're gonna slip by the special town meeting if something doesn't happen. And what I wanted to get from you all was the idea that perhaps we do this as a citizen petition, that we write the bylaw language the way we want it to read, and that we proceed with this as a citizen petition rather than something that goes through the town manager and the select board. Because at the rate we're going, nothing is gonna happen in time for special town meeting. So any thoughts, comments? Nathan, you kind of had in the original drafter of the language that, went before the interim town manager. And,
Oh, no, wait, no, I was not, I
I
didn't,
thought you did,
No.
maybe not.
no, it
So,
wasn't you.
well, maybe it was a combination of all three of us. But I think that what we actually had seen came from Carter Terenzini as the interim town manager.
That could be,
We had made, Richard and I had made a presentation to the select board. Richard representing the historical commission,
right,
myself representing APDC. And from that conversation, I think maybe it was just Carter who drafted the language, which I thought was exceptionally confusing. So, I still think this is something that should be done in steps. And the first step is to say that the historic commission replaces the APDC to manage the architectural preservation district bylaw. And then we can, work out the nuances as to how, two commissions collapse to one with some members becoming part of the historic commission when vacancies exist, so on and so forth. I think that's relatively easy to do. And, but I wanted to know, what is your preference? Because at the rate we're going, nothing is happening.
so let me make sure, just wanna make sure I understand the current situation, so you're working with the town manager right now?
Well, I had met with town council before our June meeting and said, based on the fact that we didn't make any presentation at special town meeting, and we didn't make any presentation at the annual town meeting in May, that the plan is that town council, had been directed to work with us to come up with a warrant for the special town meeting. And he agreed with that. When I met with him, he says, yes, that's true. But nothing has taken place since that meeting. And he was to report to the town manager in June that I had been there. Now, the note that I got from town manager yesterday says that she has a number of items the town council owes her, this being one of them. But she didn't indicate to me as to what the status was. The other issue came up was a member of the community, related to one of the people in the room, had sent an email to everybody, us, the select board, saying this action should not take place. It should be something that's discussed by the bylaw charter committee, or the bylaw review committee. And which meets once every 5 years, and this is one of the years they either meet on a 0 year or they meet on a year that ends in 5. So, and I actually raised that issue with both town council, saying, hey, find out.
Are they meeting now?
No,
Oh,
and they have not addressed the issue that was presented.
no, I mean, is the bylaw review committee formed and meeting?
No, it's in the process of being formed,
Okay,
but it hasn't been formed yet. I don't believe select board has appointed members. The town moderator also gets, I think he gets to appoint 2 members too. So, we can sit back here and just keep pushing town manager and town council, to give us the feedback to do the drafting, or we can do that on our own.
so will the bylaw review committee get support from the town council
I don't know.
to do their work?
I don't know.
So are so it is, what, we're in July now,
Yeah,
so is there a possibility they're just not gonna form the bylaw review committee, or?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean, that might not be a terrible direction, way to go, like that would, this is the kind of scale that would merit that type of thing. I'm not saying that's the only way it could be done, but it's not a terrible idea, but of course, it's sort of dependent on that bylaw review committee existing. If they don't, let's say they don't do it this year, will they do it next year instead, or will they just wait until 2030?
I don't know.
Long time to wait.
With this,
It would be a long time to wait,
Yeah,
um,
I think they will form the committee,
okay, well, I think I would maybe, if that's the maybe. I think you should maybe try to get 5 minutes of FaceTime with the town manager. And I would suggest be open to going that road if they are in fact gonna form the committee.
Okay, that's good.
what's the bylaw review committee purpose in relation to the commissions?
It's to look at all of the town bylaws and see if there's any changes required. That's my understanding of,
So they would be looking at the bylaw forming the APDC.
they would be looking at this issue of a merger.
It's sort of like a charter review committee, if I
Yeah.
understand it correctly.
Yeah, I had just arrived in 2020, and this is kind of like my first,
Right,
exposure to the bylaw review committee.
so basically it's a commissioned review of the
Everything,
town's bylaws.
Yeah.
Where they can get input about, from different committees or members of the public around where they should be focusing.
So they would be talking about the APDC and not the historical commission then? Because the historical commission is a state charter. Is that right?
How does it fold, so is the historical commission not mentioned at all in our bylaws?
it's not,
It's state chartered. So it's not.
So the
It's
current
right.
function, there's no modifications, so what we're proposing is a modification to the functioning of the historical commission as chartered by the
No,
state.
as a modification to the function of the APDC.
Okay, yeah, so I guess they would be looking at that then, if I'm assuming that's what the changes were that were drafted
Right.
before. Yeah, that's what they would be looking at, I think that's correct.
so. Pursue the town manager to say, hey, what's going on? Face to face, I've done this by phone and email. And then, if we don't get a response to say, is this gonna go before the bylaw? And if so, what's the schedule for the bylaw committee? Like, are they gonna make any recommendations at the special town meeting? Or are they gonna wait till, the meeting in May 2026? So does that sound like a plan I just wanted to keep you up to date to say, ain't nothing happening.
Right. I mean, yeah. It sounds like, I think that's a good next step. I mean, I think we should be ready for the fact that we may not be able to do this until May.
Okay,
But I think I definitely think we should be having this conversation with the town manager now.
Yeah.
To see if. I think there are some advantages to going through that process, although there might be some obstacles too, like I think. Going through that process will depend on that committee agreeing that this is a priority for their agenda. So it might take a while to figure this out, so. But we should be able to figure it out before the end of the year, if the committee forms, so, yeah, that's a good way to go.
Do you know how many people are on the committee?
5. I think the select board approves 3 and the town moderator approves 2. I believe that's what I've read.
And the output of that is just a suggestion.
Well, they'll turn into warrants.
It will turn into one.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
might, does that, did those changes, do they pass with a town meeting vote? Or is that a 2/3 vote and a vote of the voters?
Don't know the mechanics of that.
Okay, I don't know.
I'll find out that,
I'm just curious.
yeah. You know-
I was just curious, if it's a good idea thing, like it ends up on a list.
Yeah.
And you still have to take action, or if it does force the hand of
I think it goes back as recommendations to the select board,
okay.
And then they turn it into a warrant.
and then they turn it into a warrant article.
Yeah.
But it tends to have some, when it comes from
Has some weight to
it
it.
has some weight to it, exactly.
Okay, all right, so I'll pursue that line with, first with the town manager to see when they're actually gonna do that. She's overwhelmed right now, you know, she's had like 2 administrative assistants leave her within 2 months, you know,
And I saw the ad just popped up 3 days ago for a new one.
yeah, Ann Aubrey left, and then, Logan O'Connell, who was the planning board administrative assistant, he went over to take that job when Ann left. And then he left, he went to work for opengov.com.
No, he-
Yeah, so we're, and at the, not at the meeting that they had Tuesday night, but at the 1 July meeting, she was contemplating hiring. A contract, administrative assistant. But she recommended to the select board at that meeting that based on the costs of that, it's gonna be $80 an hour to hire a contract administrative assistant. She says, I don't wanna do that, that's too much money. Which I think was a mistake, but that's the select board and her to discuss, so, but she's overwhelmed. I mean, it's pretty clear that she's got a lot to do. All right, so I'll try and do I know one way to have face-to-face time is actually come to town hall and walk upstairs and say, I'm here. So we'll see how that works. All right, so, if nothing else about that item, we'll move on to the next agenda item on under current business. Anything else? Good. Richard, how much money of the APDC budget do you think Ezekiel applied to the Hometown Heroes program? Do you know?
All of it, as far as I know,
Great,
that was the intention,
good,
so. I should check back, what I'm.
yeah. So what money we had left from fiscal year 25 has been applied to the Hometown Heroes program. All right, the next item is any other, you'll check and let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about that? The next item under the Lunenburg Municipal Building Project, and I wanted to seek your support for a proposal that I'd like to make. I believe that the Lunenburg Municipal Building Design Committee is gonna meet with the select board next week on the. Hold on, I'll get the right date, otherwise I'll be speaking out of turn. On the 15th. And give a report and seek a charge. From the select board as to what to do next. And one of the things that I wanna do is seek by way of a vote. A recommendation from the APDC that we have formal representation on the Lunenburg Municipal Building Design Project. Since we have, we've been looking at 2 of the town's most historic structures. Actually 3, because the Brooks House was also part of this discussion. I think that, that there is, you know, good reasons for us to be on the committee. You know, I participated, but not as a member of the committee, and I never counted for quorum, which was a bit of a frustrating item, because had they counted me as a member of the committee, we would have had not missed hardly any meetings, you know, because we would have been able to make quorum. So I'm seeking a motion to, pass back to the select board, because I'm planning on joining the Lunenburg Municipal Building Design Committee next Tuesday. If I'm not there as an official representative of the committee, which I may not be, I'm gonna make a public comment under the comment section from, comments from boards and commissions. It says this, the APDC has voted to reckon that the select board will place a member of the APDC commission, APDC, on the Lunenburg Municipal Building Design Committee.
Who is, who's in charge of that commission now?
Hasn't been determined.
Okay,
Since Michael Ray left, David Blatt, who was the vice chair of the LMDPDC, he's kind of picked up the charge and he actually convened a meeting. And then, based on those conversations, which were held by commission members, that we would go back to the select board and say, what do you want us to do next? So he's taken the task of getting this meeting scheduled with the select board. Now, I've sent him an email asking him to confirm that the meeting is gonna be held. I've not received a response back from him. So I'll monitor the agenda, and if it's on the agenda, I plan on attending that meeting. So I would like to seek a motion if we're willing to do that.
So I got a motion to recommend the select board to appoint a member of the APDC to the Municipal Building Design Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion?
so just wanna make sure I understand the motion. The motion is for the select board to appoint one of our members to that committee for this, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
All those in favor say aye.
alright,
Okay, so all have agreed with that recommendation. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with regards to the committee. I've had conversations with members of the select board. And I think that and I've had conversations with the town manager. I think everybody wants something to happen in the way of improving how the town's administrative functions are housed. I've had conversations with members of the school committee about the Brooks House. And, there's a lot of interest in the Brooks House by the school committee, contrary to what had happened under the previous discussions between the school committee and the Lunenburg Municipal Building Design Committee. So there's a lot of things in play here. So we'll see how this shakes out, but I think that we need a seat at the table.
Definitely.
We have three very historic facilities that the town owns that need to be addressed. And I think that we have input to provide. So, okay, old business, I did talk to Chris Ruth about this project. What I didn't realize, I come up on Tuesday. And what I didn't realize is that they had to modify the original contract significantly. Obviously, the windows were left out, but the other thing that they did was that they only painted the building down so far from the roof line to save money, because, they're essentially, they're done with the project. They have a little bit of punch list work to do, most notably, when they did the chimney repair, some of the mortar ended up on slate roofing. And that needs to be cleaned off now. But if you notice when you walked in, like around the windows and down lower, no painting took place, and that was part of the original project. And of course, obviously, no handicap ramp. So what they did do was that they fixed all the slate, and then they repaired all the gutters, and they repaired all of the woodwork around the roof. He said that surprisingly, the rubber liner in the gutter, the wooden gutters, were repairable. I was really worried that they might not be. And what they've done now is that they've lined the wooden gutters with rubber roofing, EPDM roofing. And I think they did a really nice job with repairing the woodwork that it was in dire need of replacement and repair. And so he says that the project is almost complete. So I think that you know, from a preservation standpoint, we really managed to get a significant piece of work done with regards to keeping the building intact. So, questions, Nathan?
Our friend iPad 2 is
Oh.
seeking to enter.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you for. Okay, iPad 2, not sure who you are, but thank you for joining our meeting. Hopefully you weren't on hold for too long. All right, status of 7/6, so that's all I have for the Ritter project. I think that it turned out better than I was fearing, given the amount of deterioration in that rubber roof for the whole wood gutter. 763 Mass Avenue, do you know anything different than what we've been reporting, Richard?
No,
Okay. All right, and then 50 Main Street,
I don't have an update.
okay. All right, any other comments from the committee?
Historical Commission made a presentation to select board, Town Heroes. Program, and they were, quite enthusiastic about it. So that's, we're working on moving that forward. We're on vacation during the summer, so somebody's working on it.
Good. I think that's a great project. I think, you know, and the select board was very responsive to
Yeah.
that. So. Anything else? William? Nathan? No comments? All right, so we're gonna have a short meeting tonight.
Maybe iPad 2 has some. public
Yeah, let
comment.
me ask, any input, any public comment from iPad 2? Otherwise, we're going to adjourn. All righty, is there a motion? Oh, our next meeting would be 14 August. Does that work for everybody?
Mhm.
Great, and then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Welcome to adjourn.
Richard, Nathan seconds. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, great.